Good evening, America and other countries. I have been pondering about something, and I am driving. I'm going to tell you, I'm driving. I'm in traffic. Anyway, uh, I ponder about stuff a lot, and something that's really got to me here lately is all the bad gun publicity, whatever. And I know there's a million people around the world talking about it. Okay, I know it's okay. It's okay for us to talk about it. Gun enthusiasts, gun collectors, active military, active police, law enforcement, everybody. Sorry, y'all really can't see me, but I know that we talk about it, you know, and all that stuff. And I know everybody, is doing videos and such. But what I want to get to is I have on my Facebook page posted a few stories, all right, about people that have stopped, I guess, the bad guy. I don't know if that's what you want to consider it, the bad guy, with a gun, okay? One in particular, there's two actually I'm going to bring up, but the first one is the dad at McDonald's. These dudes came up and tried to mug him, rob him, take his money, take his belongings, and you don't know his background. He might be just an everyday Joe, and that might be all he has. That might be the last money in his wallet. But anyway, they tried to rob him, okay? He pulled his concealed weapon out, dropped the baby, by the way, not dropped. He set the baby down in the carrier, had a baby in a carrier, and they still tried to rob him. They were still targeting him, okay? He set the baby down, wounded one of them, deterred the situation, or de-escalated it, okay, and shot and injured one of the guys, one of the bad guys. That's what we're gonna call him. He's a bad guy. Anybody trying to rob somebody else, you're a bad guy, okay? So he stopped him, shot one of them. There was a group of them. Sorry about that. It took me a minute. I had a brain fart. All right, it's not my fault. It's been a long day. Been up since it's 8 o'clock this morning. So it's 3:16 on Saturday morning now. So he stopped the situation, shot the bad guy, one of the bad guys. Okay, and not a one shred of anything has been out on CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, none of that crap. None of them crappy news channels, okay, would take the time to show something positive, right? So another situation, I can't remember what state it was in, but it's on my Facebook, and I honestly don't remember my Facebook page name, whatever it is. www.facebook.com/JCS28056, maybe. I don't know, something like that. I'll go in and add it on my YouTube channel, and y'all can check it out if you want to. So the second story is more ridiculous. Hey, police! Look at there. Okay, they're on the side of the road doing something. Nobody knows what they do. Anyway, probably sitting there asleep. They're blocking traffic for road work in Charlotte, North Carolina. Go figure. I mean, that's wow, there's traffic. Okay, or construction. Anyway, so the second story comes from it was in a restaurant. Man, a concealed carry holder, license holder, was in the restaurant eating, drinking, not really drinking with friends, but he was, enjoying his time with his family or whoever. And someone came in and started shooting, and they had left the building. Well, before they left the building, he ran out of the building. So from what I gathered, these two people were targeting, or that one guy was targeting 2 people, because 2 people were shot that I know of and killed. Okay, and he runs out of the restaurant. Luckily, he wasn't one of the ones being targeted. Retrieves his weapon, is going back into the restaurant, and the bad guy came out and pulled the gun up. I guess he was running, whatever. He stopped, pulled the gun up, and the good guy shot and killed the bad guy. Okay, so that's good news to me. You know, bad guy gets faced with the good guy with the gun, and bad guy dies. All right, that's good. We all like a hero. So my thing is, why wasn't that on the news? CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, the list goes on of the news channels. None of them reported it. And my thing, with all the bad gun stories, that's what we'll call them, gun stories, because half the time the news media doesn't get it right anyway, okay? So, with all the bad stuff going on, why not report some of the good stuff that goes on? I mean, that just bothers me. I don't understand what's wrong with this country. If all nothing but bad, that's all you hear in the news anymore. Hey, there's my face. Now you can see me because of the brake lights. But all you see is the bad, none of the good. I hate to tell you people, especially the liberals and the non-gun community, okay? That's what we'll call you. Guns are not the problem. And I know a lot of people have been saying that, and, everybody, blah, 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 whatever. Guns are not the problem, okay? They're not. I'm sorry. I have a Glock 26 and a Glock 17 and shotguns and rifles, and guess what? They just don't go around killing people. And why is that? Because they're not the problem. What the problem is the parents not parenting. Okay? I have an 11-year-old son. I can come in the house, take my gun off, set it down on the counter, coffee table, my dresser, whatever. He walks right by it. It's just a tool. It's like a multi-tool. I can come in and set it down. He pays it no attention. Okay? Now, he's been taught since he was probably, I've been carrying guns, forever. And since I was 21, and he's been taught since he could walk and talk that that's not a toy. That is a weapon. It will hurt people. It will kill people. Yes, he knows how to use it proficiently, by the way, because he's been taught. We go to the gun range. We go out in the woods. We but we learn about knives. We learn how to check a weapon. Okay? He knows. So, and he's not on any medication. That's another thing. It seems like everybody that I come in contact with their children, we talk about it. I work in a retail. That's what we'll say. I work in retail. I talk to people every day. And even on Instagram, Facebook, I watch a lot of videos on Facebook and such. So, the problem are the parents. And why are all these children taking medication? We didn't have that when I was growing up. That wasn't my generation. That was the next one after me. Okay? First of all, parents, don't let your monitor what your kids are watching. Okay? Monitor them. better yet, besides monitor, talk to them. That's an interesting concept. Just talk to your children. But anyway, that sign says IHOB, not IHOP. That's a big bus right there. Y'all ain't gonna be able to see it. Good God. Anyway, parents, get your children in church. Get them in church. Get them prayed for. You get in church too. I was away. I'm not going to preach at you because I was away. I was out of church for a long time. But now I'm not. Y'all, that's a bus and a trailer. That thing's huge. And it's starting to rain too. So get in church. Go learn about Jesus and God and all the stuff in the Bible. Thou shalt. I don't know. Y'all, people just need to learn how to have respect for one another. Because there's not that. There's no respect for each other anymore. Okay? None. I promise. It's awful. This country is more screwed up than a soup sandwich. Alright? I promise you it is. But the parents of America need to get their children under control. Because when I was growing up, I didn't have to worry about somebody coming in and shooting the school up, okay? We just didn't have to worry about it. That's not something that we had to do, and then there was Columbine. Them kids were screwed up. Parents, okay, yeah. Some of it was a parenting. But, also when I was a kid, we didn't have all these ADHD drugs and all this kind of stuff that are on. And that's, kids, they say, when they have ADD, whatever, that's just your kid having too much energy. Stop the sugar. That might help. Okay? That's an idea. People don't think about stuff like that. You can stop feeding him Pepsi and Coke, Mountain Dew. God, Mountain Dew is the worst. And if you're from North Carolina, Sundrop, which I think is, matter of fact, it's not even local anymore. I think they took it national. But it started right here in Carolina. So, stop feeding them all the sugar. I bet that attention and deficit disorder will drop. Give him some water. Give her some milk. Juice. Stop with all the sugar. And then they won't have all that energy. And then you won't have them to give them the medicine that messes them up. Because that is one of the things that messes kids up, is all the medicine that we give them. My son is not ADD, not ADHD, but guess what? He doesn't drink all that sugar crap. He might have some sweet tea with dinner, but the rest of the time, and juice and milk studs in the morning, but the rest of the time he drinks water. And not only that, he asks for water. So if you start parenting correctly, stop being a lazy parent, get off the TV, get off the couch, and parent. Just be a parent. Pay attention. Stop letting your kids play out on the road. God, that's a whole nother thing. So the medicine is bad. All the sugar is bad, I promise. This is just, I'm bragging on here, but I'm just, all this stuff that I ponder in my head, I have to get it out somewhere. Nobody else wants to hear it. That's how I get on a soapbox, and that ain't what it is. It's just my views on stuff. You might like it, you might not. I don't really care. And I don't deal with the cussing and the negativity either. I'm back in church, trying to do right. Worst thing I do now is dip. Copenhagen. I'm telling you right now. Without that, I'd probably go crazy. But, parents start acting like parents, and the violence the children violence will stop. Bullying, That's one of the worst things that's going on in America right now. I know that 13 Reasons or whatever is on Netflix. I haven't watched it yet. I'm planning on it. My girlfriend, fiance, she loves it. She's already watched both seasons without me, so shame on her. But I'll wrap this up here. If anybody, feel free to comment. I don't know how many people this will reach, because this is my first video like this, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I hope you did too. Y'all need to stay prepared for anything, because then you need to get yourselves right with the Lord, because the end's coming. And everybody, blah 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 blah, this and that, Bible ain't real, blah blah, whatever, man. I'm telling you, you better get your heart right with the Lord, because it's coming. And before it comes, you better be prepared for that too. So be prepared. Start prepping. That's a whole nother video. I hope my video gets out, and if it does, it does. If it don't, it don't. I don't care, but I do care, but I don't. I'd like to reach a lot of people. Share my views, and I'd like to hear your criticism. I'm gonna be honest though, the negative crap's not gonna bother me. I'd appreciate it if y'all don't do cussing on my video, on my comments, because I'll delete it. I'm going to tell you, I'll delete your comments in a minute. I don't want to read it, and I don't want anybody else to have to read it either. So, like I said, the good gun stories don't get out, and I don't understand why. Matter of fact, while we're talking about that, there was another story, I think last year, I read about. I actually saw the video. There was a police officer being beaten to death in the middle of a street. Okay? He was being beaten to death. He would die if this individual had not intervened. Okay? What had happened, from the video I watched, I don't know if y'all can see that blue light, but it's right in my freaking face. Look at that. Yeah. There's got somebody pulled over. I think he hit somebody. Anyway, there's a car back there. Anyway, what it had, evidently it was a traffic stop is what it looked like. And the police officer, pulled him out of the car. Not pulled him, but asked him to step out and whatever. And then all you saw was this guy go crazy on this officer, right? So he was being beat to death. Could not access his firearm. And this concealed weapons license holder, I'm assuming, or maybe just a open carry individual. I'm not going to say which, because I really don't know. I wasn't there. It wasn't my thing. Had intervened, shot the man that was beating up the police officer. Tried to get him to stop first, and then the situation escalated, and the man shot him. Well, I looked, I searched CNN's website. I think this was last year. I'm not on, but I searched the website. I did a CNN.com and did a search and didn't see anything about it. Why? That man saved that officer's life. Okay? Saved his life. I didn't search Fox News or MSNBC or none of them other ones. But why would that not be in the news? Okay? You know why? Because all they want is, geez Louise, some bright lights on that truck. Look how bright my face is. Um, all they want is the bad stuff because they, it's all in a timeline, and that's all. That's all it is. It's a timeline for the government. I'm not going to proclaim they're going to come take your guns or whatever, because they're not. They can't. Okay? And if they tried, it would break out in civil war. I'm going to go ahead and tell you, because the people of Texas and the people in the South are crazy. Not crazy, but you're not going to take our guns. I mean, you're not. It's just not going to happen, Captain. It'll break out a civil war, and they really don't want that. So it's just a timeline, and that's why they don't show this stuff. Okay? But parent your children, get in church, praise the Lord, learn about things you don't know about. Anti-gun people, you need to learn about your guns, because the police are there, okay, but how are you going to defend yourself if something happens? Because like in my county, it takes the police. There's only 2 officers that patrol about, I'd almost say 50 miles. So I mean, it might, if they're on the other side from my house, what's going to happen if I'm being broke into or and what? But you need to at least be able to defend yourself, okay? And that baseball bat you got sitting beside the door, if a man comes in your house with a gun, it ain't gonna help. I promise. I've seen too many stories and everything about that. It's not gonna help, I promise. So, and this went way past what I thought it would, this video, by the way. But educate yourself. Educate your children about what to do if they do find a gun. Okay? My daddy told me a story about a man that when he was a child, the kids, the parents were not home, because back then you could leave the kids at home alone after school. Okay? And one of his friends, they were at his friend's house, and they found a shotgun. And I'll never forget this story till I die. I'm telling you. My daddy was almost killed by a kid because they found a gun. And, they saw the TV shows and the movies. Because back then we had good TV, Westerns, Bonanza. Or they had it. We didn't have that growing up. I had Mr. Rogers. I ain't gonna lie. Mr. Rogers was the stuff. Okay? But, and, we had PBS, but it's all good too. But, my daddy almost died because the kid, they were playing with a gun. What's going to happen when your child plays with a gun and kills somebody? Or kills herself? It happens every day. You know why? We know it happened because it's in the news. It's a bad story about a gun. But you need to educate your children about firearms and knives in the wilderness. Get them outside. Go hiking. Go play. Go throw the baseball. Something. Swim. Teach them how to swim. Also teach them about what to do in the event of an emergency. Like, a lot of people don't think about stuff. If you go off the river, off a bridge into a river or a lake or the ocean, what do? You don't know. Because nobody taught you. And if you don't know, we have the Google. For the love of God, we have the Google now. I wish I'd have had the Google when I was growing up. So anyway, with that being said, Google it. If you don't know what to do, Google it, message me, I'll tell you. I'll help you as much as I can. I will. I'm just people. Parent your children. Teach them about weapons. Teach them how to survive in the woods. Get them off the video games. Okay, all video games are not bad. That's not a thing. But a lot the time. Instead of just letting them play and play and play, you need to allot the time. Have some time allotment, say 30 minutes on the video game and then go outside for an hour. Okay? Or you could do what my parents did. They'd throw us outside and we didn't come home till the street lights come on. But nowadays, with all the sick perverts out here, you can't do that anymore. Unless you're in a gated community and you just know that, or if your child knows what to do in that kind of situation, like mine does. But that's a whole nother story too. That's a whole nother video. People need to teach their children. And this is just me rambling. Because I just sit sometimes and ponder stuff. I think about stuff all the time. It's just one of them things I do. And we all do it. You can't tell me you don't. Because if you do say that, you're lying. And you know you are. And I know you are. And everybody else knows. Especially when you're sitting on the toilet. And your phone's dead. What do? Oh my God. You sit there and you have an imagination and you think about stuff. The biggest part is, I wonder if there's enough toilet paper. Sorry, I was trying to be all dramatic with that, and it really didn't work. Here, hold on. Well, you still can't see me, can you? Oh, no, well, I'm still looking at my tan line right there. That's awful. Anyway, I know this video is going way out of proportion, and it's almost 30 minutes long, and nobody's going to watch it, but I don't care. I'm just sitting here now. I'm home. Made it all the way home talking to you people. So, I'm going to wrap it up. Alright. Story is, there's a timeline about the guns and the not showing the good stuff. Okay? But for every story, for every bad story, there's always a good story out there. It's in the Bible. Y'all should pick one up sometimes. Read it. Read it with your children. Teach them to read it every day. You should read a chapter every day. If not more. More than one chapter, it don't matter. Read as much as you can of it. And be prepared. Be willing to learn. And teach your children. I hope y'all have a blessed day. Comments are welcome. Please no cursing. I'd appreciate it. And y'all have a good one. I'll be seeing you.